Welcome.
Thank you.
Lovely to hear you again.
Lovely to see you.
There's only a few of us this evening.
Yes, which also affects how fast we blend, you see.
Yes. I do believe it's the medium's hands. They're not in the air, are they? No. Resting on his legs. Or...
Yes, it is your All Souls evening, isn't it?
It is. It is, yes.
Which is an interesting subject also.
All
So
Souls.
Does All Souls or Samhain or Halloween, is there truth in it for spirit?
I thought you'd never ask.
Well done, Lucy.
Ironically, there is no truth other than you collectively manifested into being the truth. For the thinning of the veil, as widely reported, only occurs because so many people are wishing it to occur and believing it will.
Makes sense.
So you collectively make it happen.
So with the thinning of the veil, is there truth in the myth of witches and monsters and zombies and all of the characters that we associate with this evening?
There are no more than there are on any other day.
I'm not talking monsters of a human kind.
Are there really monsters? Is that what you're asking me?
I think that's a good question.
It is a good
actually.
question.
Yeah.
Other than your savoury crisps, of course.
Oh, the monster munch.
Yes, that was my
Pickled
joke.
onion flavour.
There are lower level entities that vibrate much lower than you, that are more primitive and basic, who have the ability to blend their energy as attachments and alter the thinking or structure, but they have a negative effect when they attach to someone.
With the veil thinning on an evening like tonight, do those lower entities succeed in their attempt to attach?
Not because of any veil filling. They succeed in their attempt to attach because so many of your impressionable people are performing witchcraft and other procedures to fool themselves, but altering their mind and opening themselves up to attachment as a byproduct of the process.
Okay.
So, how do we protect ourselves against the possibility of an attachment of a low-level entity?
Just be normal, just be yourself. It only happens when the subject puts themselves into an altered state unknowingly, unwittingly, without any awareness. And they are willing it on, they are so gung-ho and joyous of the occasion, but they cannot stop thinking of the monsters and witches. They get the thrill from scaring themselves, until of course they do truly scare themselves.
What about the use of Ouija boards? You know, people say that it's a dangerous practice for this reason. What would your opinion be on that?
It is a dangerous practice, but just as the medium opens a portal between dimensions, so can a Ouija board do the same purpose.
Okay.
For it is again manifestation of a different type,
Yes.
where the participants in the game are asking, is there anybody there, for example?
Yes.
So they are collectively willing of creating a portal in the same way as your mediums change their vibrational energy to create the portal, but they do not have the benefit of their spirit guide, the gatekeeper controlling what entity comes in. And in a circle such as this, you have collective guides and gatekeepers, ensuring you all remain safe, working together as a team, as a unit, if you like.
Yes.
Whereas with your Ouija boards and all your teenage energy and acts, you collectively can open a portal through the same focus and concentration, but without any single person being in charge. The board becomes the portal, you see, rather than an individual, for you are all projecting energy into the matter.
I wanted to ask about, people absolutely love, it's very popular, horror films and films which are very negative and frightening and a very negative effect on people. People want to be scared. Do you feel that they're dangerous for society? Violent, torturous images?
That's an interesting question, which has a complicated answer. For any society that is constantly fed extreme violence as the norm, will start to accept it as the everyday norm. So in that sense, yes, it is dangerous, but those of normal sound mind would not be affected by this violence and they'll see it as entertainment.
Yes.
They may become desensitized, but they would not become a willing participant just because they have been exposed to it through your television shows.
Yes.
Or movies. However, those of a susceptible nature who are not of full, how do we put this delicately without sounding rude, those who are not of sound mind, shall we say, could be influenced to thinking this is normal behavior. But then such people have always had violent tendencies way before your violent films.
Yes.
You just didn't hear about it on the media. And in fact, your war times were far more violent than any exposure.
Yes, that's true.
When millions of people were exposed to real violence firsthand. But it is not ideal, is it, for utopian society?
No, I don't think so. I don't like it, do I, Steve?
What is your ultimate goal as mankind evolves and awakens? Is to live in perfect harmony, love and peace.
Yes.
And these types of entertainments will have to go, will they not?
I would like that.
For you will reach a point where you do not crave them or feel entertained by them.
Yes.
It is because of basic primitive feelings of revenge and hatred and injustice.
Yes.
Once you have evolved past this and realize that someone hurting you is genuinely hurting themselves, and you offer them your love and support instead of your hatred and your anger, then your films and movies of this nature will no longer be relevant.
Yes, that makes absolute sense.
I'm glad we're doing a Halloween special though. And we did notice your pumpkin carvings, which we think were very good.
I thought you might like those.
Yes, we are very amused.
I wanted to ask a question, and it's about spiritual healing.
Yes.
And it was someone who sort of sent the question to me. But so the question is, with spiritual healing, with absent healing, is absent healing as powerful as hands-on healing?
That's a very good question, and again a complicated answer. And the answer is yes and no, because with hands-on healing, the person performing the healing has a stronger belief in the outcome.
Yes.
Because the hands-on effect is more tactile and real for them. So therefore they believe the touch is a vital part of the process. But the reality is, of course, on your quantum physics level, your entanglement theory, which basically says the whole of this universe was once condensed to the size of a pinhead, and after the Big Bang it exploded to form the universe. So everything in string theory is touching in every other molecule throughout your universe.
Yes.
So there is no distance. It is like a giant bowl of soup.
Oh, wow.
And each of the things that you consider to be solid are not solid, of course, if you go small enough. If you go down to a quantum level of quarks and neutrinos, where you could slide easily between atoms, then nothing is as solid any longer, is it? So your thought process, sending your healing, loving energy, your spiritual force, your life force, the God force, whatever you wish to call it.
Yes.
Do you need to put your hands on the patient to send this? When you're channeling energy, when you're channeling that supreme intelligence, that collective entity to heal the sick person, Do you need to touch them? No. But your belief is much stronger if you do.
Yes. So of course belief is extremely powerful.
Yes.
Belief in the ability to heal.
As Jesus said, you have the same power.
Wow.
If only you would believe it.
Ah, that's beautiful. I like that. I wanted to ask also about the aspect of healing, the power of the spoken word, the power of prayer. Is prayer as beneficial as sending healing?
It is the same thing.
Yes.
For if you believe that your prayers will work and you are focusing your attention on the sick individual through your prayer, then it is no different from meditation and sending your healing thoughts to the sick person.
Yes.
It is exactly the same. The principle remains unchanged.
Yes.
And the power and the belief in the prayer is what makes the difference. If you are genuinely very unfocused and you throw your thoughts out there in a general prayer, saying blah blah blah, go on God, go on Jesus, go heal this person for me, be a pal. But you're not really focused or believing, just throw it out to the universe. Then it will not be as effective as dedicated proper belief and prayer. So it is much more about the intent, not the methodology.
Yes.
And the belief, of course, and the gratitude is very important.
Yes.
And the belief is reinforced with the gratitude, is it not?
Yes, absolutely.
For you cannot be grateful if you do not believe.
Yes. I also wanted to ask, still on the subject of a healing, what's the most powerful way to help to heal another hands-on? Is it more in the altered state of being overshadowed or not?
Yes, your experience the other day, for example,
Yes.
where you allow the blending on a much deeper level.
Yes.
It's more pure, it's more powerful, and your belief structure is tenfold, for
Yes.
you can feel the energy coursing through you.
That's right. Yeah, it's
The deeper you go, the deeper you believe, the deeper you let go, the more effective it is.
Okay, that answers a lot, thank you.
Which is why trance healing would appear to be far more effective than your Reiki type of healing.
Yes, because I always wanted to know the difference between Reiki and spiritual healing, and the only answer I got that maybe made sense to me, I don't know if it's right, is that Reiki was earth energy, using earth energy.
Reiki uses universal energy,
Okay.
wherever it comes from, but it is unfocused in the sense of you hand over control and you just ask the universe to heal.
Yes.
But again, the belief structure of the practitioner plays a large role in the effectiveness, for they often do not feel the energy you see in that type of a setup.
Yes.
Because they are participant in it, but they're to the side of the process rather than through them.
Yes.
And often with Reiki there is no hands-on touching.
Yeah.
So again, the belief is harder for the exponent to truly believe.
Yes. What about psychic surgery? Does there need to be the production of ectoplasm to affect psychic surgery?
Psychic surgery, again, only these subjects are all very, very similar with
Yes.
different labels, slightly different methodologies, but they all involve around exactly the same thing, which is you are a channel, you are channeling energy,
Yes.
and that energy may manifest itself through your belief structure, and there are various different methods to do that.
Yes.
You see Far Eastern practitioners who are aware of their chakra points having positive or negative charges.
Yes.
And they're able to focus their mind to bring the chakras together to create an electrical pulse
Oh wow.
that can then be passed on to the patient and can be recorded with modern instrumentation.
Yes.
These are people that have truly studied and meditated for many years to develop that level of awareness. For each of you now, Right now, I want you to just focus on becoming aware of, let's say, your base chakra,
Yes.
and try to focus just on that,
Okay, we'll do that now.
and try to feel
Yes.
and sense this density of the energy. It is a worthwhile exercise
Yes.
to do this for each of your chakras. You are taught they are colored, you are taught they revolve or spin,
Yes.
but to truly know and feel them is quite different rather than just visualizing.
Yeah, it is actually.
So try and feel it without colour or movement.
Yes.
Okay.
Throw your textbook away.
So we're looking for a physical sensation rather than...
I want you to feel with your mind.
Okay.
Where is it? What does it feel like? How dense is it? Do you feel it spinning one way or another? Or is it still? What size is it? How does it connect with the next chakra to go within yourself? For your two lower level chakras are where much of your healing energy will come from.
Yeah.
For they are the lowest vibrational chakras, more in line with your physical bodies.
It's a hard concept to feel them when we've been so conditioned to see them.
Yes,
Visualize.
exactly. Anyway, I will leave that exercise with you to practice further on your own.
Yes, thank you.
There's also, it feels like, again, I had a visualization. Wasn't actively visualizing, but I could feel or see this sort of, but it wasn't a round disc or a ball of energy. It was more flat and vibrating outwards.
Good. Well, now you are starting to feel rather than visualize what you've been told.
Okay.
That is the point, you see. We are taught by our teachers and tutors to believe what they believe.
But I think the colours and the visualization help you to learn. Not everyone knows about their energy centres.
Yes, it's correct. Most people are very misunderstood. To starting to learn, to examine for yourselves, rather than be taught and told what someone else believes. It is a good starting point, of course. But everything you are shown, your teaching methods in your modern day world fall very short, where you are taught what your forefathers have learned as fact and truth. You are not taught to go and find out for yourself. You are told this is the truth and you must learn it.
So we're given a structure, I think, which supports our human minds to absorb a practice or a new process.
So what are you actually learning?
Just
You are learning a history lesson in effect.
okay, but I would see it more of as a structure or a mechanism to support you to understand what the power, for want of a better word, that resides within your human self.
Yes, the best teachers are the ones that show you a principle and then make you apply it.
Okay.
And then make you go and explore and develop for yourself.
So we learn the colours, we learn the 7 main chakras, and then a lot of us will stop there, but that's just a starting point.
That is correct.
You should go inside and develop that further.
And you are not shown how you can utilize and harness the power of your chakras. And you are just told, open your chakras, close your chakras. Connect energetically and close down.
Which is what I do when I work. I open them before I work and close them when I finish.
Correct.
I actually don't always close them when I finish.
We know.
Sorry.
You're not alone.
I like to sit in the love soup. Which is a bit naughty, but
It is very common
okay.
to spend all that energy and time to open yourself up, to connect, to quiet your mind. Or actually it is more a process of quietening your mind by focusing on your chakras than anything else. Your chakras open and shut naturally throughout the day and throughout your sleep pattern. For most of you wake up wide awake in the mornings and your chakras are wide open. Or in your dream state you have been communicating and traveling.
Can I ask about the state between awake and sleep and the sometimes visitation or what appears to be visitation of various spirits and entities? It's like, imagine a dense black space and then faces drift in and out towards your mind, my mind's eye. That was an awakening for me when I first started. Well, first of all, I thought I was going mad. And then I learnt that it was a spirit being nosy. Whether that teaching was accurate or not, I'm not sure. But then a couple of weeks ago, Bernard, I felt that it was the collective coming to have a nose. Would that be right? Was I right to think that? Or I could see these faces that looked familiar yet not familiar.
Yes, I'm trying to determine where the question is in your statement.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I was just
Did we visit you? Yes, we are now part of your group. You are part of our group. Anyone who sits with us benefits from our collective consciousness. So your guides blend with ourselves, you see. And because there is no time or space as you understand it, when you wish to work, you will benefit from ours contacting and connecting with you simultaneously.
Which is amazing, thank you. So those faces...
So you will become aware of us, you see.
Okay.
And there are many of us. And your original question, I believe, was there a nosy spirit? Having a look at you.
Yeah.
Yes and no, for we do not wander around just being nosy. We're far too busy playing harps on our clients. But it would have been one of your guides or one of your relatives trying to get your attention as part of your waking up. So it would have been quite deliberately planned to make you aware without frightening you.
Because they do drift in and out the faces. It's not something that happens all the time. It's just on occasion it does. And I was being asked the same question by a lady I met a few nights ago, and she was quite frightened at the phenomena, I suppose, for want of a better word. And I reassured her, and only in as much as I could within my own experience, and said that that was part of her spiritual awakening. In spirit, I did say spirits, it's spirit being nosy. They're wanting to, when you are awakening, your light shines brighter for those spirits that are attracted to it. And that then inspires them to try and connect. Would I be right in saying that to the lady, or was I completely...
You're in the right area,
Okay.
but your light does not shine brighter because you are awakening. It is because in the sleep state you relax and all of your chakras will open.
Right.
So you're in tune with your etheric body in your sleep state. We haven't got any of your day-to-day physical things happening to you to slow you down and distract you and take your mind elsewhere. You're in neutral gear so that you may receive information unencumbered.
So have I steered that lady in a wonky direction by...
It is the same at the end of the day, the same result.
Okay.
But about her spiritual awakening, yes, her awareness is greater when she has awoken. For all the thoughts of the day have not flooded her mind.
Okay.
And she is more receptive and more aware. It's as simple as that.
So I hope she'll listen to this, Bernard, at some point.
Yes, we do hope our Halloween special gets out there on the internet.
As I'm sitting here, Bernard, I can physically feel like a physical pull from my solar plexus. So is that just a sense of energy flowing through me?
Yes. You'll notice for the majority of you that we draw energy from you to help with the process with the instrument here.
Yes.
So that you can enter a deeper altered state, and we use that energy to help ourselves slow down our physical vibration so that we may more closely match. So we are in effect taking energy from you and wrapping it around ourselves.
Okay.
To slow us down to your vibrational level, and also energy for us to help control and manifest physical mediumship for you. It is all the same energy, you see.
Yes.
So we are immersing ourselves and blending with all of your energies to help ourselves manifest into your vibrational dimension. But as we have said before, we vibrate at a much higher frequency than you once we no longer have a physical body to slow us down.
It must take a great deal of work and commitment from the spirit side of life to want to communicate with us in this space.
You have no idea how many people are involved, but of course we are not people any longer in the sense that you understand.
Yes, wow. So is this all an experiment as to how much we can build the communication between the two worlds?
It is always an experiment, but we have a goal, we have a mission. Why have we chosen you, for example?
Yeah, why have you chosen us?
Well, we like your funny sense of humor. We have, on a serious note, we have chosen you each for your vibrational energy pattern and each for your awareness and beliefs. And you've been selected for a long time, and you have agreed to do this before you were even born into this dimension.
Oh gosh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Yes, I believe your soap operas have a similar theme tune.
Well, we're really honoured.
Yeah.
So,
Notice us that are honoured, and when you return back to us one day, you will be able to discuss in much more detail. Your understanding will change completely.
oh wow.
But there is a mission to raise awareness. The awakening is being bandied around a lot
Yes.
amongst your spiritual leaders, and there is an awakening, but it is more an evolution.
Mm-hmm.
It is an evolution of your species to take them forwards and stop them self-destructing and destroying the planet that they're on, starting to understand who they truly are and changing their vibrational frequency through knowledge, through self-awareness, to start to understand how they should live in harmony. And that collective goal, there are a great many people becoming aware of similar goals and beliefs.
Yes.
And we are working with you to help spread that knowledge and awareness.
Yes.
And by creating your audio recordings and publishing them, more and more people will begin to listen.
Yes.
And more people will begin to spread the word and hear our words and our knowledge and information that we're imparting through you and sharing with you for the greater good of your species.
There has been some very positive comments in response to the recording so far.
We're very pleased to hear that.
People have found them valuable.
Can I ask, we come back in various incarnations. We have the choice to come back in different incarnations in different dimensions or times to learn lessons. You said that not all of the collective have incarnated, I think, in an earlier session. Do they not feel the need? Have they started in a certain phase of development? Do you all progress? Are you all learning, and what's the end goal? Sorry, that was a lot of questions.
We evolve as you do. We share knowledge and wisdom and have discussions, albeit without voices. And we share joy and happiness in similar ways, and we seek to evolve. And when I say they have not incarnated here before, into this physical dimension, but they may well have incarnated into similar dimensions.
Okay.
But each individual has their own path and their own mission and their own course of actions. We have formed a collective from like-minded individuals. There are other collective groups, smaller and larger, of different levels of consciousness, different levels of evolution, each playing their role, you see.
We have the terms, some people have the term of reaching your nirvana. You've reached your ultimate goal. Is there an ultimate, or is it we struggle with infinite?
The ultimate goal is total reabsorption back into the whole. For each of you, we're now back onto a conversation of the God force.
Yeah.
What is your God? each and every one of you, each and everything collectively is God. God is experiencing itself through you, for you are a slither of God that has been detached, so that you may experience individuality, so that God may experience itself.
That's going to blow some people's minds.
Yes, and probably upset a few vicars too. But that is the reality. So the ultimate goal is total reabsorption back into the whole.
The whole, Bernard, what is, can you clarify what the whole is?
It is God. It is pure love and energy.
Okay. Whole as in W-H-O-L-E, not
Yes.
H-O-L-E.
Correct.
Yeah, just to clarify.
That would be much funnier.
Oh wow. I wanted to ask how many channels or mediums will you be using, or are you currently using, for collectives to bring this communication through on the planet?
You mean our collective personally or total collectives?
Total collectives.
Oh, there are many, hundreds of thousands, if not millions.
Okay, yeah. So are more mediums being created upon the planet for this reason?
Rolling out of the factory.
Rolling out of the factory.
Yeah, are there more of us which are more aware?
Yes, your species is waking up, you see. So even those of you who had never entertained the spirit world before, who would have been taught by their parents that you grow up and you die and it's black, they are starting to seek. They are starting to feel their energetic connection. They are starting an inkling inside themselves that says, hello, there must be more than this. Or why do I feel so much? Where do these emotions come from? Where does my sixth sense come from? Why do I love another? Why does another love me if you just die and it's black? What is the point of this complex life form if it just ends? And you as mediums, of course, provide evidence of survival.
Yes.
As more and more mediums provide more and more irrefutable evidence of survival, it becomes harder and harder for the non-believers.
Yes.
As certain individuals are tested by a scientific community and can no longer be disproved.
Yes.
They can be buried for a while, but it will eventually break through.
And of course that shows the importance of physical manifestation for people who are skeptical, because when they can see with their eyes open, it's powerful.
Yes, correct. Which is why we need more and more physical mediums also.
Yes.
But it has been very difficult with all of your electricity and electromagnetic waves. For the energy is very delicate and fragile. And we have had to learn how to exude the ectoplasmic mist despite huge electromagnetic waves and telephone signals from your mobile phones, bombarding each of your rooms with loops of electrical cable going around inside every room, creating electromagnetic fields.
But then I have a slightly selfish question, and it's about claircognizance. How can I be more confident with that as part of my gift?
It is merely practice.
Really?
Yes. Why don't you set up a workshop day
Okay.
as a free practice day?
So I need some willing victims.
Yes. Victim, volunteers, very similar. But start with me. And practice your cognitive abilities with them.
It's my faith in it that I struggle with sometimes, which I don't get, given that I am in the moment during a demonstration. I don't question it at all, but then afterwards I think, really? I'm questioning myself, I think.
Yes, but if you're doing very well, you should pat yourself on the back or do your fist bump again, I think. But know that you are blended in the energy and the information that you get is correct.
Okay, thank you.
And just try, throw it out. Do not hesitate.
Because I find myself hesitating.
Yes, you have fear of getting it wrong.
Yes.
Which is human nature.
Especially, I fear the nature of the connection between the spirit and the human person, as in the relationship. And I get the words in my head, the knowing, but then my human self goes, are you sure?
Yes.
And then I lose confidence in saying this is your father or your sister or your...
It is only practice like everything else.
Okay.
And the more times you get it right, the more your confidence will grow.
Okay.
Until you know it's right before you say it.
Thank you.
Feel it is right.
I want to feel that it's right, yes. And have confidence in that feeling, yes.
You must sit yourself down before you start.
Okay.
And say, what is the worst that can happen if I am wrong?
I'd hate to upset somebody. Or...
Would they throw tomatoes at you, for
No.
example? Or electrocute you or something terrible? The very worst, so long as you explain at the beginning and explain how the process works, how you receive the information.
Okay.
And say it is not 100% viable all the time. Occasionally mistakes are made. You must adopt the attitude of I don't care.
Okay.
I can only do my best.
Because I get in what I call a messy link sometimes, and I think it's my interpretation that's wrong, not spirit.
Yes, sometimes the person giving the information is not very strong, or maybe they were confused. Maybe they are confused, often with emotions getting in the way of the message.
Okay.
And they're bombarding you with data simultaneously. They're so pleased to make a connection.
My little noggin can't process it quickly enough.
And they need to slow down and drip feed the information to you, but of course they bombard you because they are so keen to get the message through to the recipient.
Okay.
And then you'll find that their father or uncle or someone else is simultaneously trying to throw the information at you. So you suddenly have a little queue of throwing the information at you simultaneously, and it can be quite difficult.
I feel panic.
To decipher.
Actually, it makes me feel panic.
So you must stop at that point.
Okay.
And talk to your guide and say, tell them one at a time.
Okay. So
or we're not doing this.
Okay. So when the link is what I call messy,
yes,
it's because they are too many all at once.
Yes, and verbalize it to the recipient.
Okay,
to
thank
say,
you.
Oh, you have several people trying to talk to me at once. Hang on, this could be a little messy.
Thank you, that's so helpful, thank you.
They will understand, of course, then. If you say, for example, I have your grandfather with me, and then you give a piece of evidence that came from the grandmother or the father, they would sit there and be confused.
Yeah.
But if you explain that they're all lobbing information at you simultaneously, then the recipient will sort it for you.
I like it that you say lobbing information. That is kind of, I guess, what it feels like.
Well, yes. For on our side, of course, we are mentally throwing information bombs at your head. Bubbles of energy, if you like. But we have to send them mentally, you see. So when that connection is made through you, we will literally send in a big thought wave, a big blob of information to your brain.
And it's then...
We will push at you like a pulse of energy.
And that then, we then have to interpret that information and do it in such a way that the spirit are happy with the way we've, I suppose, received and absorbed it.
Yes, but they will continue to push information at you until they are happy that you have relayed it as they wanted it.
Yes, that's it, yes.
Can I just ask, because obviously I'm not a medium, but I have
Oh,
like
but
really...
you are, my dear.
Yeah.
So you would not be sat here if you were not.
Oh.
You just haven't explored it yet.
So is that like my question was then, that like I have like really vivid dreams, like that I'm speaking with my family members.
There you go, surprise me.
But I felt like that was just that they're under my mind and I was dreaming of them. But I remember them so well when I wake up.
Yes, I repeat, you are a medium, my dear, and your connection is strongest when you're in that alpha brainwave state.
So is it going to improve?
If you decide to consciously try, yes.
Okay.
If you sit back waiting for it to happen, no.
Okay.
Like everything else in your planet, if you wish to gain a skill, it does not magically land on your feet overnight. You have to practice.
Okay.
You have to learn to empty your mind when you are awake and ask your guide, who I believe jumped in to see you a few weeks ago,
Yeah, Mark.
and ask your guide to work with you and show you information. And then you have to practice on people to gain the confidence that it works.
Okay.
And you would be wrong to start with, of course, like everyone else, like riding a bicycle. You will fall off to start with. But pretty soon you will be able to cycle perfectly well.
Thank you.
How fast you go is up to you.
Well, I'm impatient, so probably pretty fast.
And that would be the same for John and Steve. They too have a mediumistic gift. Otherwise, they wouldn't be with us.
That is correct. You've all been chosen for your vibrational energy. You've all been chosen for your receptiveness, for your inquiring minds, for your ability to think and ask good questions. But also collectively the balance of energies between you are complementary. Some of you will leave, some of new people will come, but that is all meant to be.
I wanted to ask a question, working as a medium myself. I just wonder what the dynamic is here. So I do many sittings and different demonstrations. Some work so much better than others. And my question is that down to my ability as a medium on that day? Is it down to my recipient? Or is it down to my spirit communicator?
When you say some work better than others,
Yes.
do you mean some sittings work better than other sittings? Or do you mean your trance works better than your sitting or works better than your clairvoyance?
I'm not experienced at all in trance, so I'm talking more about my sittings, my mediumistic
Okay,
sittings.
your main activities. Some sittings are better than others. Why?
Because I just feel that I was able to connect with better evidence and information from the spirit world. Sometimes it feels like my link is really strong, and other times it just feels as if I'm just scratching the surface of the communication.
Yes, there are many factors involved in the answer to that question. All of the above are true. Your mental state,
Yes.
your time of day, if you are tired. This can be improved with a walk in your nature, in your countryside, if you are feeling not very connected.
Yes.
For your walk in the nature will ground you and
Yes.
set your vibration where it should be.
Okay.
And that will help your connection and relax you.
Yes, that's true.
So this can be an important start to your day.
Yes.
Your food, your digestive system will also play a part in how your stomach is reacting at the time that you are trying to connect. If your stomach is full and you are sleepy, for example, and digesting food,
Yes.
that will slow your vibration.
Yes.
That will stop you being able to accelerate your vibration to connect. So it can play a key factor.
Yeah.
The recipient also can try to block you, for they're suspicious.
Yes.
For they will be trying to shut down to make sure they're not giving you any information you can use.
Yes.
And sometimes they're trying so hard to shut down that they start to become unreadable. But they have inadvertently closed all their chakra system down, bolted all the windows, if you like,
Yeah, makes sense.
told their guide to go and wait in the car.
Yes.
So it is difficult then for your guides to talk to their guides.
Yes.
But you always have free will, you see. And if the recipient is very clearly saying, you are not having any information from me,
Yes.
and your guides cannot give it without it is your free will, you see.
Yes.
So those of a negative disposition, the ones who are the most cynical, of course,
For sure.
because they are so shut down and they do not get the information that they actually crave. And therefore this reinforces their belief that it is not true.
Yes, for sure.
And those who are willing, open and receptive always get the best messages, do they not?
Absolutely.
Your spiritualist churches,
Yeah.
you see the ones sat at the back with their arms and legs crossed, the ones that actually really want the message. But they are very skeptical and cynical, and they sit there week after week with no message. But they are pushing their loved ones away with their own skepticism.
Yes.
Whereas if they sat at the front and just relaxed and let go and said, I don't care if I get the message, I just wish to enjoy the experience and relax, then they would be allowing, of course you can change this by communicating with them. It depends how you work when you are doing this mediumistic work.
Yes.
If you are drawn to the recipient first,
Yes.
or whether you impart the information message and see who can take it.
Yes.
If you are drawn to the recipient first, you can select the recipient and watch them change energetically
Yes.
before you begin the process.
Yes.
It is a bigger, bolder step, of course, and it will test your faith and ability.
Yeah, going direct. Yeah, I understand.
But it will work even better for you.
This is what I felt I learned last night. So yes, that's just confirmed something for me. It's harder though.
It is a bigger test of your faith.
It's a riskier thing. I was taught to go direct, and I do what I call lock and load. And I think that's basically, it's effectively me being drawn to a person.
Yeah.
And then once you've locked and loaded, then you feel the pressure then of
Yes.
delivering for them, and because that sea of expectation, all those faces looking at you waiting
Yeah.
for something profound, can feel really, makes me sweat anyway.
Oh, it's all.
Let me give you another viewpoint, my dear.
Okay, thank you.
If you are doing one of your church platforms and you have a very non-distinguishable features coming through of a grandfather, shall we say. So you say, I have a man here of average build, average height with white hair who was someone's grandfather. That's pretty much every person in the church.
Yes.
Whereas if you go, I would like to come to you next. I have your grandfather here. He was average build, average weight, average height with white hair. She would straight away say, yes, that is my grandfather. And it is far easier and she would be far more receptive. Whereas no one will put their hand up with a generic description.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then of course once you have your link, once you are communicating with the grandfather, once he steps forward and vibrates at a faster rate, as he connects with you, so the more detailed information will come.
Yeah. Great advice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. May I ask a question for a friend?
You may, but we'll make it the last one, for we're going to try and change.
Okay. Her brother died recently, and her mother is what I call in transition. She's got Alzheimer's and may not have very long left this side of life. Will she be aware of her son still being with her?
That is a loaded question in
It
the
is
sense
loaded. I
that
apologise.
you'd have to look at the individual case, because the brother may or may well not have moved over. Of course, he can come back and visit. He may be there to assist his mother's transition, or he may not. It may be a completely different relative. Will she be aware of him? It depends again on her state of mind. But often in the Alzheimer's type illnesses, where they're losing their grip of reality. They are able to release themselves, and I suspect that you have channeled, both of you, the ladies have channeled people who are alive still.
Yes, yes, and that's
And
a bit
given
of a shock.
evidence, and they've said, yes, but this person is not dead. How are you getting this information? Or should we rush to the hospital now?
It is very disconcerting when that happens.
It is the same thing now.
Okay,
There's detachment, you see.
thank you.
Is it just me, but I can see facial changes quite strongly. On my side, oh gosh, at this face. You see that?
It's blue.
You see a monocle.
I could see that earlier.
Did you?
Yes, I was going to ask, it's a circular
Yeah.
glasses. I was going to ask, do you wear glasses, which sounded a silly thing. I saw it too.
I just saw it for a flash on this.
Yeah, it's interesting, we've both seen the same.
Yeah.
I should have acknowledged it.
Only just though, Kev, only just
Yeah, yeah.
clocked
You
it.
must have in the first session if he had a monocle.
Did I? Okay.
And you said, which one is it? And you said one side and he said wrong.
As I saw it, I actually thought they were glasses, but then I don't know. They were circular. They were circular.
Just like
There's
wrong
one eye
lens.
open, guys. Oh,
I can see almost like what's of like mist from the chest. It's just like a little mist that filters just a little bit past. It's just like misty.
I thought earlier I saw it was almost like a ball of mist in his lap,
Yeah.
but then it was so fleeting. I wasn't sure if it was just
Yes.
me, you know.
Yeah.
When he first started, I was like seeing purple lights come off his head.
I have seen that as well tonight. Little momentary
Like
flashes.
little, like it's almost like your stereotypical ghost, but just like it's like a Ghostbuster effect.
Yeah.
But it was a purple, it would just like
Yeah.
go and disappear.
I see them as purple as well, John. Like an ultraviolet sort of flash. I don't see them as white lights for some reason.
No, it's like it's sort of like an apparition, just like a face that came in off the head and just disappeared.
Yes. I'm just seeing sparkles of light around the medium's nose.
Did you hear the knock then?
I did. Actually, I did. It seemed to be outside.
It did.
It's interesting because with physical phenomena there can certainly be an aspect of raps and taps that can take place.
The size of his head changes.
Say that again, John.
Keep seeing like the size of his head changes.
Yeah, but around the forehead.
Yeah, so like got a flatter head, then it goes back to.
Yeah.
I see that, like his cheeks are like thin out and
Yeah, it's like a younger face, a more rounded face. Comes and goes.
I've just seen like a little purple light as well around the medium's head flash again. Strong sense of energy, gosh, around the medium's head. Wow. It's almost like his whole face has changed shape. Oh, there's quite a power coming in here, gosh.
I know my guy Derek's having a dance in the face right now.
Yes.
I don't think his name's Eric actually, it's just that, you know, his name I know by. Unless it's my chin hair, because you know. I've just seen something fly out from the top of the medium's head.
Yeah. Oh, there's a big change that I can see.
It's like, yeah, it looks really fluid. It's really round at the top of his head.
Wow. Oh, this is quite amazing.
Oh my God, I see my brother. Oh my God. got to see my brother's face.
Oh, well.
Michael? Michael, oh my God! Hello! Hello, gorgeous!
Sis!
Michael! Oh my God! Oh, I love you so much! Hello, gorgeous! I can see you! And you can see his face! May I come close?
Yes!
Michael! Gosh, Michael! You're here and I don't know what to say to you now. I love you. I love you. You've worked so hard to come here. Oh, I love you so much. I miss you, my brother. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Thank you for working hard. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. I love you.
We can go careful.
Oh my God.
His face was like coming in and going out. I could see him, but kept coming and going.
It was absolutely his face.
And he'd always call her sis. She hated it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
God.
Oh, wow. How lovely. He was so delighted to be here, wasn't he?
Wow, so
And his grip.
Really felt our heart's beautiful, Lucy. He's coming to uplift you. To tell you not to worry. I know, I can hear him.
I could see his smile.
Yeah. Got me bloody crying again. So I could see him.
Yeah, it's amazing. How lovely. How beautiful.
But he must have worked so hard to do that.
Absolutely. You will have trained like we do as we do.
Yeah.
That's why.
Because it's only been 3 years.
Yeah. Was he 50?
Yeah, he was 49, yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
There's oh my gosh, there's like an animal or something on the medium's lap. You see? You see? He's
Stroking it.
that's really weird. I could be wrong, but that's what I think I saw. Is there an animal with you? It's like an animal.
You're like a cat.
I wasn't sure what it was. I was like, what?
Cat's outside.
No, I know.
So the medium was trying to show us something here, some manifestation.
Is it like an orb?
Yeah, it's like holding something small. And also the verbal communication that's ceased. So this is whether we're trying to work with the energy, isn't it, to create phenomena?
I'm sorry, he called me sis.
And that's spot on.
So annoying.
Wow.
In a good way. Sorry.
Beautiful. So the medium's appears to be holding something.
Not like an orb now, is it? It's like something between the hands.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's really odd to look at. Trying to show us something manifesting in the hands. Yeah, it seems like solid. That sounds odd. Perhaps the medium's got black on anyway, but it seems like solid.
I was just about to say black.
Yeah.
Did you like?
Oh, Herbert.
Yes.
You've made my heart so happy and sad at the same time.
Yes, good. You really saw him, didn't you?
I saw him so strongly. I'm so grateful.
Yes. Proof of survival.
Yes.
It is your time again.
Yes.
Your time is up for tonight. So we must say God bless and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you for an extraordinary evening.
Thank you. Still a lot of visible energy around the medium's head.
His hair's grey.
I saw him as bald then. So.
Our medium to come back. Still a lot of energy there with our medium. Can you see it?
It's not quite his face yet.
No, I agree. I agree with that, that's it. Blimey. I don't know if to speak to our medium by name because Herbert said it was the end. You think? Oh gosh.
Is it Bernard? Is Bernard come back?
No,
Who
Okay.
are you, my lovely?
Okay, can I ask who you are, my friend?
Circle leader.
Circle leader.
Circle leader?
Would be easiest for you to understand.
Yes.
We come to say thank you.
Oh wow. Gosh, well thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. I was a little startled, I'm sorry. Is there any information that you wish to give to us?
We are just stretching him to the next level.
I see.
When he relaxed, you see, and thought the evening was over, I was able to jump in.
I got a little bit scared, so apologies.
But it's okay. He is very well protected.
Yes, okay. May I ask a name that we can refer to you by?
It would not make audible sense to you.
Okay.
Can we give you a name to support us to know you by? Was that too?
Wow, look at this. Wow. Oh my gosh. Can you see the changes on the face? Can you see this?
His beard's gone.
Oh my gosh.
He's quite handsome, actually. Circle leader, you're a very handsome man. Quite enjoy looking at you, really. That's an awful thing to say, I'm sorry.
We are flattered.
I'm sorry for being flippant, sir.
I seem like Chinese, is that just me?
How would you, Taylor? Whatever you see, you see.
I've been seeing Chinese eyes keep flitting in all through the night.
Which is what you saw in your vision the other night, Steve.
Yeah.
It was a Chinese man with bamboo. And a wonderful message for Steve. Steve said mediumistic. Well, this is a wonderful trait, isn't it?
Maybe we should call him CL for short.
Yeah. Circle leader.
As in the leader of the collective? Or the leader of this circle?
I would say more of the collective.
Do you think, really?
Yeah.
Like the big boss?
Yes,
That's why I just dropped in.
I believe so.
Maybe we should call him Big Boss.
Gosh, I'm a minute. Look at the hand here. Well, this is a different movement of the hand that I've seen before. It appears that he's given us something of an energy, I believe.
His fingers are stretching.
Oh, Stephen.
Stephen.
Hello.
Would you like him to approach you?
Yeah,
Go gently, Steve.
slowly, my friend.
There's a very big change in the face of the medium. Saluting you, Steve.
Warrior.
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 Yeah.
Wow. Ask him who he is, Steve.
Hi.
He's saying you are a warrior.
Just a flash of a lady's face then.
Yeah, I felt that too, Lucia.
Did you?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Gosh, look at this energy. The face is changing again. Gosh. Wow, really, I'm just seeing a very different looking face. Can't even explain it. Maybe it's the movement of energy, I'm not sure, but
I can't see any creatures at all.
No,
It's
it's
just,
not a tree.
They're all gone.
Oh, this is good.
it's just,
this is amazing. Wow.
Just sort of blurred in.
yeah.
The hair has gone dark.
Mm.
I know it's quite dark in here, but you would like the light down. Our medium may be coming back, I wonder. Completely off, my friend. Tiny light, red light left. Maybe our medium's coming back. Yeah.
Did you feel it?
What?
Oh, she went.
Yeah. It's gone really cold again.
It's
I
fine.
remember.
Breathe.
Great.
Give him that's a really dense state. Give me a second.
Very cold. It's hot in the middle, but it went really cold when he came back that extra.
Yeah, it did.
God.
I was shaking.
And when he called Steve over, it's freezing.
The big boss.